Kick it over to me.
Yep, we'll do.
All right.
I'm Victor Anderson, in case anyone hasn't met me. I've been on the Government Affairs Committee for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years, work at structural concepts in the operations area. We're fortunately real busy right now. That's a good thing. So yeah, that's who I am. And I've been, Eric Ringelberg was chair with me last term, and Morgan just joined on. So I'm sorry, Amber just joined on. So Amber, go ahead.
Hello, my name is Amber Mae Peterson, and for my day job, I'm the owner and operator of the Fishmonger's Wife. However, I've served on the Government Affairs Committee as a member for I think about a year, and then I was asked to co-chair with Victor. So I'm actually pretty excited to be here today. This is one of my first official duties as a co-chair. So, and it is with great honor that I am able to introduce our first panelist, which is from the Muskegon County Commissioners.
One thing real quick. We want to thank Huntington Bank for being our sponsor. So thank you, Huntington. All right, now go ahead.
Victor, thank you for keeping me on track.
I gotta keep, that's what my job is.
This is why you always have to have that like mentor with the newbie.
Yeah.
So,
oh,
yes.
Boy.
Thank you, Huntington, for your support of this event. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to give the microphone over to Chairman Scolnik, who from the Muskegon County Commissioners. Remember, you do have 2 minutes.
Right.
So,
okay. Well, I'm Bob Scolnik. I'm currently the chairman of the Muskegon County Board of Commissioners. I'm in my 10th term as a commissioner. I served for over 10 years on the City of Norton Shores City Council. And I think that this experience, coupled with a successful business career, former Entrepreneur of the Year, and with significant leadership experience with nonprofits, lets me bring a lot of experience to helping Muskegon County. It took me some serious thinking to narrow down my top priorities to just 3 for the county. Muskegon County, with over 1,000 employees and a budget exceeding $225 million, has lots of priorities. But here are the 3 that right now are my top ones. Number 1, work with our health department, our governor, legislators to provide as many additional doses of COVID vaccine as possible and get them in the arms of our citizens as quickly as possible. 2, get the new convention center, the Van Dyke Mortgage Convention Center, open and do everything possible, working with our Convention and Visitors Bureau to bring in meetings, shows, and visitors to our beautiful county. I did have a tour of the convention center yesterday, and it's almost done. Ribbon cutting, I think, is March 26th. Finally, finish up securing the final 177 acres of the Nugent Sand property, soon to be Harbor Dunes Park, and move forward with creating almost 400 acres of the seriously most beautiful park in the state of Michigan. The amenities include 2 large private lakes, trails, fishing, kayaking, and thousands of feet of Lake Michigan frontage. And finally, and I debated about talking about this, the elephant in the room. The issue that seems to be the most important and the most daunting to me right now. I'm trying to work on unifying the entire Muskegon County Board of Commissioners, working on narrowing our differences, engaging in meaningful dialogue, and understanding that we are much stronger when we work together. And seriously, wish me luck. And thank you.
thank you, Commissioner.
Great. Thank you, Bob. Next up is Mr. Gary Nelund, Mayor of Norton Shores.
Oh, all right. Well, welcome all. Gary Nelund, Mayor of the City of Norton Shores since 2009. 3 terms. I am seeking re-election this November for a 4th term. I born and raised here. We're kind of multifaceted. My wife owns a business in the city of Muskegon. I own a business in the city of Muskegon Heights, and we are located, our house is located obviously in Norton Shores. Got to live in the city that you represent. So, except for going away to Kalamazoo College, getting a bachelor degree there, and then at Western, getting my master's in public administration. I've always lived in Norton Shores. And I guess my 3 top priorities are continue to focus on the natural assets of Norton Shores. That's what makes us unique. That's what sets us apart. And that's what attracts folks to live in our community. I want to continue to grow the population. We've got to continue with our housing developments, those sort of things. Norton Shores grew from the 2000 to the 2010 census, and predictions are that we will again be the only community in the county that has grown from 2010 to 2020. We want to continue to attract businesses into the city of Norton Shores. We've by maintaining business-friendly policies, and we've done a good job of that. We have a really good council that believes in that, so we're happy for that. And then one thing that when I ran originally for mayor was to run the business like a city, or run the city like a business, I should say, and we continue to do that with some lean ideas and continuity planning and those sort of things. And city was well run before I got there, and it continues to be well run. So we're happy for that. And I guess the question was, what's the one big project that I'm working on and what I want to see through fruition? And that's part of the reason why I'm running for another term as mayor, is the completion of the Seminole Road Place Plan. That Seminole Road is, Norton Shores doesn't have, we're spread out. We don't have a traditional, center, I would say. But as we work on the Seminole Road Place Plan with Mercy as the west anchor, their new building that opened, and the redevelopment of the East Town at the other end, along Seaway Drive, that has become mini Pill Hill in Norton Shores, lots of doctors, dentists, medical facilities. So we're doing some streetscaping there, putting on a road diet, which is a fancy way of saying we're taking out a lane to make it more walkable, adding benches, adding new street lights, and just continuing to do the great things that I picture as mayor. I feel I'm a keeper of what's good in Norton Shores. So we're continuing to keep doing the things that we've always done, and make it a great place to be. Thanks.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor Newland, for that update. So love it. Thank you. So as not to borrow extra time from other panelists, we're going to move on to Representative Terry Sabo. Terry, take it away.
All right, thank you, Amber. My name is Terry Sabo, and I'm state representative for the 92nd District. I'm in my third and final term in the State House because of term limits. And it's something that I've really enjoyed doing, not only in this role as a state representative, but in my prior roles of being on the Muskegon County Board of Commissioners for 2 terms, and on the County Road Commission, and then serving my communities through my professional career in the police and fire fields. So it's something that I've always felt was important, was to serve community and be a part of that community, and that's what I've done and tried to do, and hopefully can continue on in some fashion. But my time in the State House, I'm kind of like Chairman Scolnik. I mean, it's hard to narrow down things into 3 priorities, but I think it's almost like a moving target at times. But I really do believe that one of the most important things that we're faced with right now is getting with the vaccines, making sure that Muskegon County gets the vaccines as fast as we can. It's been a struggle for many different reasons, but it is something that's at the top of my priority list. We need to get past this pandemic, and the only way we're going to be able to do that is get the shots in people's arms, get vaccinated. Another issue of mine, which Chairman Scolnik and I share, is civility in politics today. It's always been a priority of mine from day one, is to treat people with respect and just be kind. It doesn't mean that you have to agree. You can have disagreements all day long, but there's a way to do that, and that's by communicating back and forth, trying to find some common ground, and that's something that we all need to do a better job of, period. And then I think, in a nutshell, my third priority is really, trying to get our making sure that the Muskegon community is getting all the resources it deserves, making sure that we're not getting shortchanged. And that's something that I've been working on from day one in my time in Lansing, and something I'll continue to do. And as far as things that I'm working on now, is all of those, but trying to help out on that unemployment insurance agency situation where a lot of people just really had problems there, accessing the system, getting their payments. We need to do a better job as a state, and that is at the top of my list when it comes to things that I'm working on right now. So with that, thanks again for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Terry, very much. Next up is Tamica Fox, City of Muskegon Heights.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? So I am Tamica Fox. I am Mayor Pro Tem, a little over 4 months in that role, a little over 1 year on City Council, working in lockstep with Mayor Watt and City Manager Troy Bell. There are a few priorities that are top of mind for us as a council, and that is the Heights Renaissance. So I always say restoring the roar. I heard that some time ago, and I thought it was a good catchphrase. One of the things that I'm looking at is housing in the city, what it looks like current state, what it looks like future state, building new homes, renovating existing vacant homes, and then connecting those to home ownership programs in the city that would benefit the city as a whole. Also attracting new business to the city, so retail, commercial, industrial. We were, as a city, afforded a grant for retail studies. So they did a target market analysis. We were afforded $75,000. So it shows good faith by the state to do that for us. And it was a retail and housing study. That is a critical tool for us to use for economic development for residential and retail. It was a study done from here to Grand Rapids, and it just shows about the 75% of people what they're looking for when they want to move and come to a different city, live, work, and play. I know we've all heard that. So we are looking to make the city look like an area that you want to come live, work, and play. Because now we're all virtual right now. Of course, I'm virtual, sometimes working, telecommuting, and all of those things. So what that looks like. And then a top priority for me started pre-COVID, but I looked at the youth in the city and said to myself, we probably should bring them down to City Hall, a good group that's doing positive things in the city, and see what their thoughts are on live, work, and play in the city. What do they want the city to look like? What do they want to do when they talk about live, work, and play? Because they are the players and the new entrepreneurs, and that's who's going to lead us in the future, right? An extension of council. I want their voices to be heard and not muffled. So again, it was pre-COVID. They were in council chambers with us. So I look forward to getting them back in council chambers and continuing that conversation. So thank you so much. And I look forward to hearing from everyone.
Thank you, Tamica. So I'm sorry, a quick question. How long have you been, will you be serving pro tem? Do you know yet, or?
2 years. So I was appointed to take Mayor Watt's term. Okay. And I would be running this year for a 4-year term. But yeah, finishing up the 2-year term. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you. I just wanted to know because I didn't know. So thank you.
Yeah.
So next, I would invite Mayor. Oh, Mayor, I always just call you Mayor because I just butcher your last name. It's Gawron, right? Notice how I kind of garbled that a little bit?
Not at all. But if you just want to make the W into a V, you can talk like a good Polish person. Gawron. We'll stick with Gawron. That's how people say it. Hi, Mayor Steve Gawron, City of Muskegon. I've been on the City Commission since 2002, and I've been the mayor of the city since July of 2012. My mom's family's been around for a long, long time. And we love our community, and we're going to stick her out until the end of time. My top 3 issues or topics. One is immediate and real world issue. It's to be working with the Michigan Municipal League, my fellows in the Urban Core Mayors Organization, and the City Business Collaborative that we developed. And matter of fact, the president of the chamber is one of my compatriots with the City Business Collaborative. And something that's very essential at this point is Muskegon is one of 24 income tax assessing cities in the state of Michigan. And we will be working to encourage the state legislature to support the governor's fiscal year 22 executive budget recommendation for $70 million in one-time relief for the 24 cities that do assess income tax. It's essential. And to give you an idea, our income tax generates a 33.5% of our general fund revenue. So for us to continue to provide the essential services that we need to our neighbors, we would like the state legislature to certainly work with us in seeing this through, because it definitely impacts where people live. Secondly, I want to continue to focus on our neighborhood investments, our housing programs within our neighborhoods, dealing with more inclusionary type of zoning to allow for different housing types, price points, which we find can accommodate different income levels and is much more inclusive. If we're not all living in the old world of, exclusionary single family housing, we're looking at different types, duplexes, small quad plexes, and the like. These type of programs and neighborhood investment have definitely shown an impact as we concentrate on neighborhood improvement. The city of Muskegon's state equalized value percentage over the past 5 years has led all cities in the county of Muskegon. And once one of our more distressed zip codes, 49440 in downtown, has become the second fastest growing zip code in terms of household incomes in the state of Michigan. Thirdly, I want to echo some what I have heard from my fellows here, that we need to continue to focus and encourage civility, respect, and neighborliness in our interactions on each one of our dioceses, but also, within our neighborhoods, and encourage that, amongst all our neighbors, because the only way that we're going to get things done together, if we walk this journey together, being, neighbors, being builders of our cities, through our positive relationships.
Thank you.
A real world project. I'm sorry?
We're getting close to time. I don't want to be rude, but we got.
Okay, not at all, not at all. I'm excited to say that I'm a alumni participant with the Mayor's Institute of City Design, and we've designated Jackson Hill as a real world pilot to study on how we can foster more economic growth and development in one of our city neighborhoods. And we're working with pros and technical assistants through the Institute, and hopefully bring home great new ideas that we can put into real world practice.
Thank you, Mayor.
The end.
The end. Good job. Next up is Senator Bumstead. You have the court.
Thank you. I'm State Senator John Bumstead. I'm happy to represent the people and business owners in Muskegon County at our state capitol. My staff and I work to make sure that everything that we do prioritizes everyone in the 34th Senate District when we make our decisions. Job number one for us is serving our constituents and hoping to help them with any issues they have. Majority of the policy work that we do is driven by the district. Our number one priority legislatively is to work with the governor and my legislative colleagues to get the Muskegon Casino approved. We have worked on education issues that have come from our local schools that provide more flexibility and local control. We have passed legislation that appropriates money from the DNR Trust Fund for local governments to acquire and develop public spaces and recreation areas. We can help local businesses, nonprofits, and local governments with state level issues as well. I chair the Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy Appropriations Subcommittee. And we have a great working relationship with the director and her staff. We have been able to help various businesses with issues having to do with Eagle. We've helped we've helped the new convention center with emergency permitting issues, local growers with permitting issues, assisted local governments with PFAS funding, and worked with residents in shoreline erosion permit needs. Many of our restaurants struggle with getting liquor licenses, and we have helped countless business owners with their applications to the Liquor Control Commission. Michigan unemployment system has been a nightmare, to say the least, but my staff has done an outstanding job working with the residents and businesses whenever with their assistance trying to navigate the UIA system. Business expansion is vital to quality growth in Muskegon County and other state level departments. Muskegon County, we have worked with businesses and Muskegon Chamber and the MEDC and other state level departments to retain and expand businesses. If your organization is applying for grants from the state, you can reach my office for a letter of support. Finally, my staff and I try to be in the district as much as possible and work to help the community. We hold office hours that we can speak with residents, business owners about issues that impact them. We've done door-to-door in the past, handing out information about how residents can contact our office for help. We've also volunteered our time and resources to give back to various organizations like Kids Food Basket and Boys and Girls Club. If there are opportunities for volunteering, let us know and we'll see if we can work it out in our schedule. Please don't hesitate to reach out if we can be of any assistance. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. And now we're going to have State Representative Greg VanWoerkom take the panel, excuse me.
Thank you, Amber and Victor. It's good to be with you. I'm demonstrating the luxurious life of a state representative as I found a gas station to pull over from as I'm heading out of Lansing today. So just wanted to reiterate some of the things that have already been said from Representative Sabo and Senator Bumstead on some of the Muskegon specific issues. We've started out working a lot with PFAS issues that were discovered. We've got the convention center as well. So that really is a major focus of mine, is some of those Muskegon specific issues I'm working on with my colleagues. We do a good job putting some of those partisan things aside when it comes to helping out Muskegon County. Some specific things I'm working on. Been doing a lot with the child care field. I saw this as an area that not much attention was being paid. And when I would talk to businesses and manufacturers in the district, they always talk about and one is a skill, two is reliable transportation, and three is childcare. So having a young family, we saw how that impacted us. So I decided to take a look at that and try and work on some issues to make it more affordable for families. Another one, certainly we're all working on COVID relief and getting vaccinations, certainly to Muskegon County. But one of the things that we're seeing as a consequence of COVID is the child mental health issue. This was something I started working on as I entered the legislature, just from different meetings I was getting from educators and physicians. It just kept on being something that was brought up. So I put some time and effort in that, and it's just been exacerbated in response to COVID and schools being closed. So we're going to take a hard look at that as well. I'm also the chair of the general government subcommittee on the appropriation side. And a lot of that is related to that first barrier that I mentioned, which is job training and having skills so that you can enter the workforce and prepared to climb the economic ladder. So that's a big part of the budget for the general government. We're going to be taking a look at that and make sure people have the skill set and can get those jobs, because employers are still looking. There's a lot of jobs out there. We just got to take down some of these barriers to fulfill those. And when the economy is good, lots of good things happen, particularly for the county. So those are quick few things I'm working on. Thanks for letting me pull over and do this. And thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you, Greg. Appreciate it. Next up is Commissioner Doug Brown.
Hey, thank you very much. Obviously, Doug Brown, I'm one of the new county commissioners here, started this year. I've been involved in, was a Reese Puffer School Board member president for 22 years. John Snyder had the position, and when he decided not to run, we had some discussion, and that's how I run. I've been a chamber member. Some of you might remember Catch the Wave. I was in that. Anyways, Northside Lions, Rotary. So I've been active and involved, and also a local business man here in Muskegon, which I'm obviously vested into what's happening here. Priorities, working with local municipalities, local businesses. I see everyone here. I know most of you, and by the way, I also want to, Bob Scolnik, thank you. Great mentor for me, being a new person. I want to mention that. And he had his trust in me to put me on several chairs, one being the Community Development Transportation and Vice Chair Ways and Means. So I'm very thankful for that. I thought Bob was my friend, but anyways, that's another story. Thank you. I mean that also tell you. So working with municipalities and governments, really to be a champion again and still for Muskegon County. I'm working very closely with Bob Wilkins, which I think everyone knows, just a great person and asset to Muskegon County with the Convention Bureau, working with the parks, as Bob mentioned, Muskegon Area Transit and the county airport, which is really something to talk about. And they're scheduling to explore some new applications and configurations and different routes that I think is going to benefit everybody in Muskegon County. I guess one of the things that my background and that I'm very proud of working on is the strategic planning for the county. It was done in 2017. It's coming up for 2022. Mark Eisenbarth and I have had some discussion. We're actually setting up meetings in the next week, and we're getting community involvement, business leaders and stakeholders in the community to really focus on what the county can do. So some of you I've approached, and I'm really looking forward. I kind of jumped around, but the other, yes.
Hi, your mic is getting a little bit staticky and coming in and out.
Oh.
So yeah, and we're actually at our time too. So I think we're at a good pausing point. It's okay. So thank you. So, all right, next up we have from Senator Peters' office, Peter Dickow. So where are you?
I'm right here.
Oh, thank you. So many screens. It's hard for me to.
Yes, there are. Thank you all very much. Great to see everybody. So I'm Peter Dickow. I represent the senator in 14 West Michigan counties, including Muskegon. Very pleased to be here. So the senator's top priority is COVID relief. We are very much clearly still in this pandemic. Senator Peters is working to secure additional relief to help out small businesses, resources to speed up vaccine distribution and to get communities through this, additional resources to help our schools reopen safely. He has met with the president and vice president on this issue and will be with him again tomorrow. And so suffice it to say, COVID relief in many forms is issue one. The senator is the new chair of the Homeland Security Committee. And as such, he's got a number of priorities there, basically securing our communities, making sure that religious institutions and other nonprofits can protect themselves against potential attack. We want to grow Michigan's role as a hub for commerce, strengthening border security. Bolstering cybersecurity is another part of the Homeland Security priority group. And saving taxpayer dollars. The third priority would be supporting small businesses. Just wanted to highlight that he recently reintroduced legislation to reauthorize and improve the state small business credit initiative. That does help small businesses grow and create jobs. That's top priority. In terms of projects, Senator Peters' bill to 2 minutes to help communities with some loans to prevent shoreline erosion. The Shore Act was passed, and we recognize that that is going to be an ongoing source of stress. We are committed to helping shoreline communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter.
I love it when they bring their own stopwatch.
That was awesome. I didn't have to even worry about anything on that. Next up, and I can't pronounce this last name, but Councilman Dan.
That's great. All right, Dan RS, double Dutch, whatever.
I heard double Dutch earlier, so you got the floor.
Oh,
There we go.
now
I'm Dan Rinsema-Sybenga, City of Muskegon Commissioner at Large, first elected in 2013, re-elected in 17, and then there's a at-large election coming up this year, so we'll see how that goes. During the day, I work at Muskegon Community College as the Dean of Academic Affairs. 3 priorities for the city. First, COVID relief. Small businesses and our residents have been really impacted by the pandemic, and we need to do the best we can to support those folks. Second, opportunities for youth. It's kind of cliche, but the youth are our future. I worked on the Muskegon Public Schools and the Heckley library millage campaigns last year, and those are great steps for our youth, but we need to continue to do that. And I know the city's identified youth engagement as one of our top priorities as part of our goal setting for this year. And third is just quality of life. In the city, we want to have great quality of life for our residents, and we also understand we're the county seat, and so we provide quality of life in terms of our beaches and our downtown for all of the county or culture institutions. So we really want to improve that and make life awesome for our residents and all of our county residents. A major initiative to work on, housing is probably my one I try to push the staff on, and they've done a lot of great work. When I moved to Muskegon 18 years ago, the housing market was so different for the city of Muskegon. There was a huge difference between the city and other areas, and that's really narrowed. We've made there were no housing starts, to be honest, very much anywhere in the city, but especially not in the core city. So that's improved a lot. We have a lot of work to do, though. We still want to make sure that everyone's welcome. There's quality housing at all different price points. So we'll continue to work with developers, our residents, and folks to make that happen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So next up, we have Todd Whiteman from Congressman Huizenga's office. Todd, wave so we can identify you. Oh, there you are. Thank you.
Top of the Hollywood Squares. Yeah. No, thanks for having me. Todd Whiteman, District Director for Congressman Bill Huizenga. Congressman represents 8 West Michigan counties, including Muskegon. And as a small business owner himself and a former state elected official, resonates well with most of the panelists here. As far as top 3 priorities, like many on the panel, one of our priorities is defeating COVID, specifically making sure that the federal government works effectively and efficiently with state and local officials on vaccine distribution in this current phase that we are in the pandemic. Secondarily, we think it's very, very important that we responsibly reopen this economy as soon as possible. Again, cognizant that I'm talking to a lakeshore community here that sets what maybe, though it doesn't feel like it the past few days, but our summer is just around the corner, and we know that you folks depend a lot on the tourism that comes into West Michigan to take part in a lot of those Muskegon assets that have already been discussed. So we feel it's important that we responsibly get this economy open soon. And we're very much so cognizant that the best stimulus plan that we can do for any Muskegon resident is called a paycheck, and getting people back to work as soon as possible. And again, we want to do that in a safe and responsible manner. Third priority would be reopening our schools. Been spending a lot of conversation with our local superintendents throughout those 8 counties. We know that there are real-time implications in terms of that representing normalcy in all of us getting back to it. One of the state representatives mentioned the impact of mental health in our schools right now and with our young ones. And that is a super, super important real-time implication of our schools operating in this remote fashion. So we want to make sure that we get those schools back open as soon as possible. But I'd be remiss if I don't sprinkle in that there's a long-term implication for our schools staying in this status as well, and that's the talent supply issue. Even before COVID, we know that that members of the Chamber of Commerce were struggling to attain talent and top talent into West Michigan, and that there was a real talent pinch there. And we're pretty convinced that that our schools having this kind of interrupt will have an impact in long-term talent supply as well. And as far as a special initiative, I'll just mention this in light of talking to a bunch of city elected folks and state folks that have to balance their budgets. A top priority for us is a return to fiscal responsibility in Washington, D.C. That's long been an interest of the Congressman. And we think it's going to be and should be a bipartisan welcome conversation sooner rather than later. And so we're looking forward to reinvigorating the Balanced Budget Caucus. A couple weeks ago, we introduced an amendment into the budget process through committee. It was a pretty straightforward budget amendment. And again, I think this will resonate with the city folks on the panel that are all required by state law to have a balanced budget. We simply introduced that any member of Congress, regardless of whether they're a Republican or Democrat, that brings a spending package of $10 million or more, bring with it from anywhere else in the federal budget an equivalent offset in reduction in spending. And so those are our priorities right now. We thank you for the opportunity to be on the panel.
Thank you. Thank you, Director Todd. Next up is Roger Morgenstern from Norton Shores Councilman. I was thinking you were consumers.
I am with consumers. Thank you.
I know you are. I just was getting screwed up there. Sorry.
Great to be here. Roger Morgenstern. I'm an at-large council member for the city of Norton Shores. My day job is at Consumers Energy, and yes, that was me on Channel 8 this morning, if anybody was up at 6:40. I handle media relations for the company in West Michigan. I am completing my first four-year term for the council. I was appointed in 2016 and elected in 2017, and I'll be running for re-election this year for another four-year term. My top three priorities, the mayor mentioned a couple. Our Seminole Place plan, which is really to give us a sense of place and a focal point for our city on Seminole Road from Henry Street over to Seaway Drive. Also, to be a good steward of our tax dollars. We have a roughly $30 million budget, and we have a couple of specialized millages which are very important to our quality of life. Our streets millage and our public safety millage, which was actually the public safety millage was just renewed last year. And just watching how those dollars are spent and making sure that we're making Norton Shores continue to be a great place to live. And then third, a couple of people have mentioned this, the Nugent Sand property, known to be known as the Dune Harbor Park. This is a real gem. We at the city of Norton Shores are on the city council. We are completely supportive of this project. We appreciate the county taking the lead, and we look forward to this beautiful natural area becoming a new part of our community. In terms of an initiative, I'm glad, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on a chamber event, but Mayor Nelund and I and city staff are working with the chamber to engage with them on a couple of very important initiatives along our borders, especially the Harvey Street corridor, and working with Fruitport Township on business development and economic development with the casino coming there and with the challenges that retail have. And then also Sherman Boulevard that borders the city of Muskegon and the city of Roosevelt Park, and helping to redevelop some of the commercial areas there where the Plum store used to be. So great to be here. It's nice to meet some people and see some, I wouldn't say old friends, but Commissioner Scolnik is on the call. But great to be with you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So next up is Aaron Langlois from the city of Roosevelt Park. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks. So as Amber said, my name is Aaron Langlois. I'm fairly new to all this. I've been on city council for going on my third year, and this is my first year as the mayor of Roosevelt Park. I would say that all of my priorities are focused on keeping Roosevelt Park on the growth upward trajectory that we have been on. With just 1 square mile, sometimes growth has to take on a different meaning. But in the last 3 years, our taxable value within our city has grown by 8%, And our residential home values have grown by 10%, and that puts us in the top 3 in the county for growth. We also have an awesome business district, and I'll talk a little bit about the projects that have been happening in our business district just in my short 3 years on city council. Well, one project that's going on, it's not in our business district, is our Campbell Elementary School, which is part of the Mona Shore School District, is currently undergoing a $12 million renovation. And that's going to be beautiful when it's done. Aldi's on Henry Street has recently completed a $1.2 million addition and basically a complete store overhaul. And in addition to those projects, our city council has been working on the creation of a citywide brownfield authority and some upcoming redevelopment projects for some of our old industrial sites. Another great thing in Roosevelt Park is in the last 4 years, we have maintained a 90% plus occupancy rate in our commercial sector through all of the ups and downs. So that's something we're very proud of here in Roosevelt Park. And I will give you my 11 seconds back.
All right, that was easy. Got the
Well,
easy button on
yeah.
that one.
Hey, just warn the next person, Victor, they don't get that 11 seconds.
Oh boy, okay, you got to talk. So Councilman Ramsey, you just heard Amber's, or yeah, you heard Amber. Go for it.
Thanks, you guys, for having me. My name is Michael Ramsey, and I am the city commissioner in the city of Muskegon for Ward 3. I am fairly new. I'm in my second year of my first term and excited to be here. If I was going to speak to 3 things, I would speak to community engagement with expanded and enhanced lines of communication to our neighbors that are real and relevant, so that when we ask for feedback and engagement, that those things are actually being brought to the table, having a light shown on them, they're discussed and considered, that we're not just out there speaking to empty efforts. We haven't been, and we're proud of that at the city level. I also would like to focus on safety and security for all of our neighbors. And I think that that means in this particular time, talking about race and racism and how we're able to speak to equitable practices for minority and marginalized populations in every single aspect of the work that we do every day. That those populations need to be considered, questioned, and involved. And then finally, I'm gonna echo my colleagues and say housing at every price point, within every neighborhood within our city, and how we use that to not only serve our neighbors that have been here as long as we all have, but those that we want to attract to our beautiful, beautiful, beautiful city in Lakeshore, and how we use those opportunities with housing to continue to support small businesses within those same neighborhoods, and that we're able to create these pockets that really serve where they are. I think that there's a great opportunity there, and proud of the work that we have been doing. And lastly, because I have a couple of seconds left, I'm going to highlight common ground and how we can all come together across city lines, across differences of beliefs and opinions and practices, and really make sure that when we focus, that we're focused on our community as a whole and what is best for every single person who's a part of it.
Great. Thank you very much, Michael. So I believe Todd Dunham, is Todd Dunham on the call?
I don't think so. No.
Go ahead, Amber.
All right, I will then.
I should have had his 2 minutes.
Sorry, that's for me and Victor. Victor, better think of something. You get 60 seconds at the end.
Oh boy.
All right, so next up we have Walter Watt from the city of Muskegon Heights. Actually, excuse me, Mayor Watt from the city of Muskegon Heights. Excuse me for that tongue slip there. Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm Mayor Walter Watt. I'm going into my second year as mayor of the city of Muskegon Heights. I was elected to the council 2 years ago and decided to run for mayor. And I was fortunate to win and now represent the city of Muskegon Heights. And I'll keep it simple. What Mayor Pro Tem Fox said basically is, our priorities, lockstep and key. Housing development is vitally important to our community, and that's one of the major things that we must do to bring back citizens into our community, to uplift it, to bring our tax base back, and to be able to provide the services that the citizens need and expect. Business development, she mentioned that. That is our downtown redevelopment is of vital importance, and we're working with some developers to get some major things going in our community. But one of the things that I want to touch on that she did mention that is vitally important, that encompasses all of those things, is dealing with our crime issue and getting that under control to where citizens that want to move into the community and buy a home will feel safe and having it moving into the neighborhoods and won't have any concerns about safety for the children. So when you have a tight budget like we do here in the city of Muskegon Heights, and to solve the issues and the problems that we have in regards to crime and trying to develop your community with new homes and redevelop the existing homes, you know, you have to make your community safe. But when you have cut your budget for a police department in the past and you're having to struggle, you have to be creative in how you're going to manage and provide safety and to the community. So some of the initiatives that we're taking on to address that is we just appointed our new chief, Murray Sane. He's a lifetime resident of the city of Muskegon Heights. And, you know, he loves the community and the people love and respect him. So I think that is a plus. But more so importantly, in terms of trying to provide more safety or give the appearance of more safety, is the Ring Doorbell initiative that we're embarking upon to try and affix every home in the city of Muskegon Heights with a Ring Doorbell to provide more eyes onto the streets and ears onto the streets, to be a deterrent to criminals that think that they can just come into our community and do crime. So that's one thing. And the other thing is the initiative with our part-time and reserve officer program. That's where we have we pay for the officers to go to the academy, but they have to come back and volunteer for the community for 3 years for 25 hours a month. So that gives us more officers on the street. So these are programs that we've taken on that provides the safety aspect to what we need to do with developing housing and redeveloping our business community. But one of the major projects and initiatives that we're working on is we are in the early stages of working on a major development in our community, and it's called the Shops on Sherman, right at the intersection of Peck and Sherman. And the developer that's working on this project, you know, has just been awarded $1 million to clean that site, demolition that site, and begin the process of development. It's going to have retail establishments below and apartments and condos above, a little work play type atmosphere, which is, you know, the theme for most cities around the country now, in the atmosphere that you want. And I think that as we do these things, we will create an excitement for others to want to come back and invest in our community. You know, we have a good, affordable story to tell with housing. We have just an untapped market for business opportunities, and with existing businesses, we're working to help them expand. With Rolar, he's expanded his business over there, so we're working with him to get some expansions with that. So it's kind of difficult to talk about just 3 priorities because we got many. We got many priorities. We got many things that we're working on. We got many things that we've done with our solar panels to help cut the cost of what we're having to spend. We've implemented those on all of our city buildings. So we're doing a lot here in the city of Muskegon Heights like never before. And as we move forward, we're going to ask those that want to see the city grow and move forward and become what it used to be to partner with us. And as these new casinos begin to take place, we want to make sure that the leadership is at the table to have discussions on how Muskegon Heights can benefit and get involved with making that possible as well. That could be a benefit to the citizens of Muskegon Heights. So I don't know if my 2 minutes is up, but I'll end right there.
Well, but Mayor, what you're saying is so exciting. It's hard to want to cut you off. So, but you need to be invited to our government affairs committee meetings and do a little something for us. I think, Victor, what do you think? Should we make a note of that?
So
Yeah, because I didn't know.
Well, I can do a little something, you know, just invite but you know, it's exciting because it is exciting right now in Muskegon Heights. We have a lot of challenges, a lot of things and issues that we have to deal with on a daily basis, but we seem to always persevere and get through it. We're a resilient community. And I always like to, and I'll end right here, but I always tell this story. If you look at most communities in the state of Michigan, and this is for our state representatives and those that are in that office that can help us with finding funding to do some things that we need to do. If you look at all of the communities that look like ours in the state of Michigan, from Inkster, Ben Harbor, Detroit, Flint, Pontiac, Ecorse, Hamtramck, Highland Park, all of these communities that look like us have all had an emergency manager that had to be assigned to them to come in and manage their finances and help them get their city back on track. Well, the city of Muskegon Heights, during the times when we had the roughest times, the leadership strapped up its bootstraps and made the tough decisions, like cutting police staff, unfortunately, and other areas that we needed to do in order for the citizens to retain their right to elect the people that they want to lead them. And that's what we did. And we turned that corner, and now we're just trying to get back on solid ground. And I'm going to be asking and reaching out to the leaderships and our leadership in the state and our representatives to partner with us to find ways to invest back in the city of Muskegon Heights. Because no matter how beautiful this area is, no matter what we do, if we do not beautify Muskegon Heights, it's still not beautiful as it can be.
I think that is
Thank you, Mayor.
a note that all of us can agree with. I think so. Wonderful.
Thank you.
And yes, I am serious as Victor. We should really look at having Mayor Watt be a speaker. So he mentioned a couple of things I'd like to know more about.
Speaking is not my forte.
I know. I couldn't tell.
Hey,
Mayor Pro Tem, she kind of cracked the whip on me and told me I better do good.
I'm a bashful engineer. I usually look at my shoes.
Mayor, as your neighbor to the west, Norton Shores looks forward to meeting with the Muskegon Heights City Council. The mayor and I have been talking today. As soon as we can, it'd be great to do it in person. Let's do it when COVID allows us to do that. I would look forward to that.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can meet in Gary's office.
That'd be great.
So, all right. Well, with that, I do want to remind everybody, excuse me. First, thank you everyone for taking time out of your day to be here. It was very interesting. I took notes. And I hope all of my government affairs committee members also took notes, because remember, we're having a pop quiz tomorrow at our 7:30 in the morning meeting.
Yeah.
Victor.
Well,
I just lost popularity.
Amber's really shaking the place up, guys. She's doing a great job. So
now
we gotta study and take notes before the government affairs committee meetings.
Hey, what can I say? Those 7:30 in the morning meetings, they need to wake you up for the day. Yep. So, we also have listed on our website, muskegon.org, all of the events that are coming up. So if you're interested in seeing more about what we do, please make sure to visit that website and register for future events. I can't guarantee that the hosts will be as charming and as entertaining, but they should be informative for sure. And also a big thanks to Huntington Bank for sponsoring this get together. Without sponsors, none of this happens. So we appreciate it. Victor, you want to close us out?
Boy, really, you put me in a spot like that. Just thank you, everybody, again. Thank you, Huntington Bank. I'll just repeat. And thank you, Mayor Watts, for Muskegon Heights. My grandfather and father grew up there, so it's nice to hear good things about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that's it. Looking forward to seeing you guys when we can be in real time again.
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So
I got a question. How are the vaccinations going in you guys' community? Is there any update on how much we're going to get in the area or when?
Can you repeat that question, please? I didn't hear it.
The vaccinations, how's it going in you guys' community? Is there an update on, when we will be getting more and how much and how soon we can get everybody in the area vaccinated, if those that want to be?
Is that a question Representative Sabo, VanWoerkom, or Senator Bumstead know anything about?
Yeah.
They were asking about vaccination supply. Do you guys know anything?
Yeah, that's an issue we keep on working on. The public health department is probably your first source on getting information on the weekly dosages that they're getting. And then Mercy Health has also been getting dosages. But there's kind of a trajectory, but the question is, there hasn't been much consistency from week to week on how much Muskegon County and other counties have been getting. So there's no set number, but they do have projections for the state of Michigan that by late summer, they hope to have X percentage with the vaccine. So the first point of contact would be to contact Kathy Moore at Public Health to determine what kind of numbers we're getting week to week.
So Congressman Workham, it's by county, correct? It's not really by city,
right,
or district, is it? I mean, it's more of a county thing.
It's working with public health departments and hospital systems. So
okay.
A big bold percentage is the hospital systems, but then public health departments as well. It's kind of a little convoluted just because we're a pretty diverse state and how to administer and who to get those to and who's got the appropriate refrigeration for the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccinations.
It's the same problem in every state we have. It's all of it's getting manufactured is getting out there. It's just every state does it a little bit different. It's just going to take time, and you have to get your top priority folks done first, your seniors and folks in the healthcare side of things, and it's just going to take time. People need to be patient.
And I should add too that it's had some problems, getting enough supply to get distributed. So I mean, it's something that we've never had to do this before, and there's going to be mistakes along the way made. I mean, we already know that some have already been made, but the bottom line is that the more we work together to get these vaccines rolled out, should be the top priority.
So sounds like there is hope on the horizon and we're working on it for sure. So
Amber, if I could just make a quick comment. We hear updates from the Kathy Moore, the director of the health department, every week, sometimes twice a week. As of last week, and we were one of the top counties in the state, over 95% of all the doses she had had been injected. So in the state of Michigan that week, they only had injected about 62% of what they had. And we were ahead of Ottawa and Kent County in terms of, percentages of doses injected. And, we talked about them ordering vaccine. She said it's not really an order. They request it and they get what they get. So it isn't scientific the way you would think it would be. I don't know how it works, but and if everybody could just continue to promote getting it as soon as you can, we'll get there as soon as we can. They're doing their best.
All right. Thank you for that additional insight, Bob. So, all right, everyone. Once again, I want to say thank you for attending and a big thank you to Huntington Bank for sponsoring us. And I'm sure that anyone that was on this panel would welcome your questions by reaching out to their offices or to them direct. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe and can't wait to see you again.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Be safe,
Thank you.
everybody.